everyone, this is a short guide to frequently asked questions for Introduction to Geology. So some of these questions might arise at the beginning of the semester, while others might not come until the end of the semester. But let's check it out. First, when and how to use sources. So how do you know when to use sources? Now, most discussion boards through this class require a minimum of 2 sources. You'll have a critical analysis assignment that requires a minimum of 3 sources, and then any homework assignment that you reference outside material. So that does not include your textbook. So how do you use sources? I prefer students to use a GSA style format, but I'm perfectly okay if you want to use an MLA style format as well. If you need help citing your sources, check out the guide below. What do you need to know about exams in this class? First, how many exams are there in the semester? There's 4 unit exams and 1 final exam. Each unit exam covers anywhere between 1 and 4 lessons and are about 100 points each. Final exam, it's a comprehensive exam. It asks questions all the way from Unit 1, Lesson 1, all the way up into Unit 4, Lesson 14. It's worth a total of 200 points, and it's your proctored exam for the semester. How do you study for exams? I post study guides for each unit exam. The study guides do not cover all the material, but it's definitely a good place to start. Study guides can be found under the Lessons button, Study Guide, and then they'll be labeled Study Guide 1, 2, 3, or 4. Study guides are wiki pages where each student can actively edit it. I find that students that are participating and filling out the study guide online tend to do better on exams. I find that teaching your classmates the material is actually helping you learn it a little bit more than just reading it. Now, I have a rule that what you put into it is kind of what you get out of it. The more you put into your study guides, the more you're going to walk away with knowing about that material. So what types of questions can you expect on an exam? I tend to use a variety of different types of questions: multiple choice, multiple answer, matching, true, false, and short answer. Those will all be on there. What are the time limits for your exams? Unit exams have a time limit of 75 minutes apiece. That should be ample time for you to complete your exams if you have studied. Most exams range between 40 and 60 questions. That means you're having a minimum of a minute per question to get the answers down. Do you have to take a proctored exam? Yes, you do. The final exam will be the proctored event for the semester. So where do you take your proctored exam? If you live within 30 miles of an OTC location, you'll need to take your final exam at that OTC location. If you live more than that 30-mile radius, you can take yours at an off-campus approved location. So for a list of approved locations, check out the link right here that outlines where you can go. Next, if you take your exam off campus, I need you to fill out an off-campus proctoring form. That form is due the day before the proctored exam opens. If I do not receive it by that point in time, I will not approve you to take your exam at an off-campus location. So what happens if you don't take your proctored exam? Unfortunately, you will receive an incomplete for the class. Photos for lab work. So I require a photo to accompany each lab that is submitted. I find it is normally easiest for students to take photos using his or her cell phone on the camera. You can use digital cameras, whatever works for you. That's perfectly fine with me. Make sure that all photos are appropriate and professional. If they are not, if they're blurry, if I can't understand what the material is, then you will not receive credit for that. Now, photos being submitted for lab work will be submitted through the quiz function as a file response type question. If you have any questions about how to upload those, feel free to reach out to me. Will you need a lab kit? Yes. Without your lab kit, you will be unable to complete the labs for this class. This is a brand new kit that we are using for the first time this semester. It will need to be purchased from the OTC bookstore. We are having these lab kits especially made for this course. So if you purchase a similar kit offered somewhere else online, most likely you are not going to have the materials that you need. So please note that you will need both parts to the lab kit. Part 1 is comprised of consumable materials, so acid, paper, things like that. While Part 2 is the non-consumable materials part, so the minerals, the rocks, that sort of thing. This is really important. At the end of the semester, you can turn in all the non-consumable materials for a full refund. So take good care of your lab kit. What are the course objectives? So I'm not going to read through the course objectives. They're here and available for you to review. And that covers the frequently asked questions for the semester. If you have additional questions to this, feel free to let me know. Thanks!